Gordon's face was grey, and he was finding it difficult to control his breathing. He could feel the sweat around his collar, and the cold drops ran from his armpits down the side of his body to his waist. "I said I can help you," continued Simon, "and I can. Let me deal straight away with the subject of proof. I have here—" He laid 3 pieces of paper carefully on the table. "Sworn depositions, duly, as you will see from the seals, notarized. The first confirms Mr. Fenderman's receipt of £100,000 from the government. It is signed by the man who offered the bribe. The second contains the signature of another government official who testifies that Mr. Fenderman insisted as part of the deal that the 13-year-old Princess Mbinda be kept behind during the eviction of the Ankosa people. The third affidavit is signed by 2 drivers and a soldier, each of whom saw Mr. Fenderman personally carry the princess into a hut. The soldier, I'm afraid, who was young at the time, actually looked through a hole in the wall of the hut and witnessed the entire rape. At a moment's notice, any or all of these people can be flown to the United Kingdom if Mr. Fenderman wishes to contest their evidence." Despite the hammering in his chest and the buzzing in his ears, Gordon managed to speak. The sound was hoarse and barely above the level of a whisper, but everybody in the room heard it, and Susie's pencil faithfully recorded the word. "Why?" Simon smiled. "Why? Simple justice, Mr. Fenderman, simple justice." The sweat was running into his eyes, but with a jolt that wrenched at his lungs, the realization came upon him. He had only met him once, 20 years ago, but the image had never left him. It was an image that summed up everything Gordon hated about England, and everything he hated about himself. "It's you," he croaked. He had only one thought now. The window. The blinds were down, but if he ran fast enough and led with his shoulder, he could do it. He could break free and do one last thing that Albie might admire. He charged like a mad bull. He heard cries of "Stop him!" from the table, and out of the corner of his eye he saw Susie's startled face look up from her pad at last. He hit the window hard and contemptible. Useless prick that he was, failure from first to last, he bounced back like a squash ball. As he crashed to the ground, he felt his throat tighten in an iron stranglehold, and a lightning bolt of pain flashed and thumped down his left side. This was how he had watched his father die 20 years ago. The same roar of pain and clutching at the throat. Susie, God bless her, was the first by his side, loosening his tie and raising his head. The others clustered behind her, and at the back he saw the face looking down at him. "Ned fucking Madstone," he said as he died. "Fuck you forever." Simon was out of the room before the last breath had left Gordon's body. Time was fleeting by, and he was on a tight schedule. Hairdressers to see, and miles to go before he slept. "2," he whispered, tactfully closing the door behind him.